loved him, fell in love, found a place on Parsons Hill that they rented to us, and we were all set. I walked in here with my sister, and the place was closed up for summer. And it was still so magical. It was beautiful. I was like, wow, this is awesome for our girls. The first was Annie, who was going to go into the primary, first year primary, and Lacey would be going into the morning class, and Kylie would stay home with me. And we walked in, my sister and I, and sat down with Sister Susan, Sister Barbara, and there's drapes over and tablecloths over things like the water table and stuff. We sat down and talked, and at some point, somehow it came up, the topic of religion. No. And Sister says, oh no, we don't teach religion here. That's your job, Mom. And I went, huh? I don't know how to teach religion. I don't know what to do. Well, you know what? Over the last 6 years that we've been here, little do you realize they teach religion. There's this little thing called, well, I'm a 17 years a Catholic school kid, all right, cradle Catholic, the whole deal. There's this thing that they don't teach anymore called the Corporal Works of Mercy. And it's feed the hungry, give drink to the thirsty, clothe the naked, give shelter to the homeless, visit the sick, bury the dead. Visit the imprisoned, care for the sick, bury the dead. Well, you know what? These sisters do it. And they don't call it that. But they teach a brand of religion. Sister used to say, this is church. This is church. You put the box of cereal in, this is church. And you know what? Over 6 years, I realized we have fed the hungry. We feed the hungry at St. Peter's. We feed the hungry in the Accord Food Pantry. And sometimes we as parents feed the hungry teachers on Fridays. And the yard sale provides so many of those things. Give drink to the thirsty. Water purification. The sisters in the Navajo reservation. Fresh water, water for life. Clothe the naked. Kylie, my 7-year-old, who's our last child here, when she was in the afternoon class, they were collecting shoes for the children in Africa. And she was so heartbroken to part with her butterfly tennis shoes. She had 5 pair of tennis shoes, but she really loved this one. They didn't fit her, but she didn't want to part with them. So we talked about it, and I said, well, that's all right. You don't have to part with them now. Some little girl will use them later when you're ready. So we go through the rest of them, and then she says to me, Mommy, I'm ready. I want you to give these butterfly tennis shoes to a little girl. And they saw pictures of children wearing their shoes. This is church. You know? She said, Sister said to me, no, Mom, that's your job. Well, they have taught me to teach my children. Visit the imprisoned. Well, they didn't really go down to the local penitentiary, but those sisters who we gave up our spots for in the Christmas show, I was so irritated the first year. What do you mean I don't get to see my child after I dress them up? Bring them in here, make sure their hair is all stuck down and, you know, they know their songs. Well, they bring those people in because they don't get out, and they served us for a lifetime. And it's our way of giving back. And they are imprisoned. They don't have the freedom to leave. So that's another thing that we've been taught. And so many weeks, I say, have a great weekend, sister. Well, we're going to another funeral. Bury the dead. So many things I've been taught. Religion, I taught to teach my children. The real deal. When you said, no, Mom, that's your job. What a daunting task, but you know what? You taught us. You all taught us. Janet, Chris, Julia when she was here, Sarah, Els, you know. Another really great lesson for parents that I've learned, that I've personally learned, is don't do for them what they can do for themselves. That was not something I got at, you know, when I had a 5-year-old, a 2.5-year-old, and an 18-month-old. You know, I was doing everything for them, but don't do for them what they can do for themselves. You taught me that. Now they do it for themselves. Sister Susan, I'm going to tell you this not because my child's unique, because my child's just like your child. She will do for your child what she did for my child. And Annie was her sister two years ahead of her, 2 grades ahead of her. And when Sister Susan got a hold of Lacey in the afternoon class, it was, what do you want to be? What do you want to do? I want to be just like Annie. I want to be just like Annie. And sister said to me in the drop-off line, pickup line, I'm gonna work with Lacey. And she brought that little child out of her cocoon and made her become Lacey, who is entirely different outside of her sister's shadow. And I don't believe without the one-on-one, very purposeful, intentional care that you gave her, that she would have developed into the beautiful little girl that she is today, free to be herself and outside of her sister's shadow. Oh, thank you. There aren't words. I'll never forget the week one, we arrived at school and the enchantment has now happened. Everything's uncovered and I'm like, oh, I want to stay. And I have to drop off my children, but I want to stay. And Sister Susan pulled me aside and she said, this is Mary Beth Ting. You two should be together. You two should get together. She'll take care of you. And she did. And she saved my life in that she showed me how to live here in New England. I was like on another planet. I called it Planet North Shore. I would refer back to friends, I'm on Planet North Shore. She taught me well. And I just want to say thank you to you and for all my friends who have been through this journey. And I do have a little hope, and I'm going to say it only that you might be hopeful with me, that there is a large group of people growing daily that hopes to secure that property for a girls' high school, girls' Catholic high school. And we are very serious and moving forward. And given the opportunity, we're going to secure the property and we will take care of the sisters. And the two properties will become one. So if you're inclined to pray about it, please do. Know that we're moving forward. There's a tremendous interest, and it's not within this community necessarily, but it's within the Hamilton, Wenham, and North Shore community. And the funding is there and the enrollment's there, and it is a very strong possibility. So I believe there's an end to Mullen Gate. I do.
That would be a good one.
We will move forward. Wouldn't that be great?
You're going to teach there, right?
And it'd be full circle. They started out there in the convent. To all of you who have many years left, oh, just savor them, trust these women, and enjoy every moment because your last pay social will be here before you know it.
Add one thing. When Annie was coming to California, I didn't sleep the whole night before. Annie never met us. She never saw this school. I'm thinking, tomorrow, how is she going to get out of that car, come in here? I don't know her. She doesn't know me. And she did it. I don't know how to get by. I'm thinking, I'm the one that didn't sleep. And she just popped in.
That happens.
I don't know.
Adventure.